welcome. This is yet another exciting episode of Unplug, brought to you by every NG. Thank you so much for joining us, not today, but throughout this week, and it promises to be another exciting one today. My name is Victor, and it's a pleasure to be here as always. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. And of course, as always, we start with the story of the day. Now, this one is very significant because it has to do with the lives of people, the safety of the lives of Nigerians. And it's about COVID-19. That has been an issue, a big issue throughout the year 2020. But it seems like the government is not taking it as seriously as they should. But anyways, we'll get back to that. But before then, entertainment news first of all. We'll be starting off with some Big BBNaija doings and happenings. Laycon and Kiddwaya have become the first lockdown housemates to be verified on Twitter. That is really massive. You remember that while Laycon was still in the Big BBNaija house, he became the first to be verified on Instagram. But over the course of last night, that was midnight, Laycon became verified on Twitter, and not long after, Kiddwaya as well became verified. So those two are really big boys, or should I say big men, so to speak. So congratulations to them. Their fans are all over the place, celebrating and all of that. Well, good one, kudos to them. And Laycon is still the center of conversation because he has just gotten the keys to the house that he won on the BBNaija show. Really massive. Of course, you remember that a house was one of the prizes for the eventual winner of the Big BBNaija lockdown season, and he has gotten himself a 2-bedroom apartment in Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos State. I saw a video of when he was being given a tour of the house, and everything was really beautiful. Everything was looking good, and that kind of reminded me of Tolani Bad, when she was saying she is beginning to accept house gifts and all of that, and maybe Laycon too might also begin to accept house gifts as well. And of course, trust icons, they're always going to be there for him. Okay, now away from Laycon, there's still a lot going on when it comes to BBNaija, and this time it's not lockdown housemates. Mercy this time around from Pepe Dem, the eventual winner. You would remember there was this whole back and forth that was going on concerning her relationship with EK, and then she came and said she was no longer interested. They had this very ugly separation, and she always spoke about a certain Mr. H, and then she came and said she was already married to him and blah blah. In a recent video, she was spotted with who might be this Mr. H, who is suspected to be Mr. H, because they were having this very intimate kind of dance. It looked like a party or something, and that was not enough. They were caught kissing. Ooh. So perhaps that is the Mr. H that Mercy had been talking about over and over again. Anyways, I guess maybe finally sometime later there is going to be an eventual reveal of who the real Mr. H is. But until then, we're just going to keep waiting and following Mercy's life. All right. Away from that now, let's talk about Crazy Clown. You remember the last time Crazy Clown was in the news? It was for his survival. He survived a very terrible accident, lost the car, and he came out to thank God and all of that. But this time he has cause to celebrate because he and his fiance Jojo are expecting their first child. And he came out to share a really beautiful video of he and Jojo dancing. Jojo is already heavily pregnant, and we are waiting to see when she's going to give birth. Was thankful. Jojo too was thankful, and it's one of the things we love to see. And Chris Clown and Jojo have come a long way together, and we cannot wait for the child and maybe for them to finally eventually tie the knot together as a couple. Okay, well, that is that about that. Well, there's more reason to celebrate as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Grand Commander of the armed forces is President Muhammadu Buhari has turned 78 today. Great news, isn't it? Yes, it is. Our president has turned 78. It has been a topsy-turvy year. So much has gone on. We've seen COVID take the lives of even important personalities in different parts of the world. But Nigeria's president is still safe. I think that is something worth celebrating, the fact that we still have a head on our shoulders, in quotes. So congratulations, happy birthday to our president, President Buhari, as he turns 78 today. All right. Now that is that about that. Let's get a bit into serious mode now. And the big story, I talked about the spread of COVID-19 earlier. It has been a major issue throughout 2020, and Nigeria is still dealing with it, especially the second wave of the virus that is now an issue that has to be contended with. Earlier in the year, you remember that the federal government closed the borders and banned importation of certain things, and a lot of countries are having to deal with the second wave of the virus. Now, just to put this in perspective, Nigeria recorded 930 new cases of the virus just yesterday alone. 930, almost 1,000 new cases. But same yesterday, the federal government opened 4 land borders. Although the ban on the importation of certain things like rice and poultry is still in force, but the borders have been opened. That means there's now movement. How does this make sense when you have just begun to deal with the second wave of a very terrible virus like COVID-19? Make it make sense, please. I will just leave this to your discretion, to make of it whatever you want to. But a lot of people are saying it doesn't make any sense. How do you do this? It just does not make any sense at all. We're trying to battle the spread of this virus, yet you're opening the borders. How? Other countries are closing their borders. But anyways, we'll leave that to the federal government to decide. Perhaps, there's still some, actions going on in high places. We're waiting to see what the eventual outcome is going to be. But for now, the borders are open. But don't forget, always keep yourself safe. Wear your mask, sanitize, and, follow all the guidelines as you should, all right? But then let's move away from that now. Back to entertainment. And this time we're talking Lola Okoye. Lola Okoye is Lola Omotayo Okoye, and she's the wife of Peter Okoye, one half of the defunct P-Square group. Quite unfortunately, she lost her father, and her husband came out on social media and he expressed his sadness on the loss of his father-in-law and talked about their closeness and how much the relationship with her father meant to his wife and all of that. But anyways, our condolences to Lola Okoye and her family at this time, and we hope that they can, find a way to deal with the loss of the man. All right, so let's move away from that now and let's talk Laura Ikeji. Laura Ikeji is Linda Ikeji's sister. Linda Ikeji, perhaps in some circles, is the more popular one because of what she's all about and this and that. But Laura Ikeji is married to Nigeria, and the focus is going to be on the English Premier League. Not so much, but anyways, English Premier League. First of all, a number of teams are doing strange things in the league this season. It's not like a regular league. The big teams are faltering and all of that. But Arsenal seems to always be in the news for wrong reasons. Now, yesterday they played out a 1-1 draw with another team, but for the 3rd game running, Southampton to be precise, they played a 1-1 draw with Southampton, and for the 3rd game running, an Arsenal player was red carded. And yesterday was Gabriel Magalhaes. But anyways, that is Arsenal's story. As for Tottenham Hotspur, they were defeated at Anfield by Liverpool, 2-1. And Jose Mourinho, coach of Tottenham, came out to say that despite the fact that his team lost, he lost to the weaker side. And, when you look at the stats of that game, it does not, corroborate Mourinho's statement. But then Mourinho is always going to be Mourinho. And finally, let's leave the English clubs and let's talk a particular player, Robert Lewandowski. yesterday against Wolfsburg. He bagged his 250th goal in the German Bundesliga. That's 250 goals for Robert Lewandowski. He started, of course, at Borussia Dortmund, and now he's at Bayern Munich for the past 7 years, and he has scored 251 goals. Now, that makes him the third player in the history of the league to score up to 250 German Bundesliga goals. So congratulations to Robert Lewandowski. And that is all we can take on Unplug for today. Thank you so much for making yourself a part of the show. And thank you for always sticking by us every single time. And my name remains Victor. And until I come your way next time, do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.